Where have you come into land with, you said before, and I think it's a really good point, it's not too late. When we first ever spoke, however long ago that was, I asked you a question about, I didn't use this word, but the grief of not starting earlier, the potential resentment that you can place at your caregivers and your friends and your culture of this didn't happen earlier, and the entropy, you started on the other side of the roller coaster, right? You're like, oh, fuck, like I'm fighting against it as opposed to improving it. You know, like I can't get younger in the same way as I could have gotten younger, or at least slowed it down or whatever. I'm interested in your relationship with that dynamic now, a few years hence, more time to think what could have been, but also to think, well, I can't, by focusing on that, I'm losing the very time which I'm claiming is now being more limited. That seems like a very stupid way to spend my life. Where have you come into land with, you said before, and I think it's a really good point, it's not too late. You can reverse, or you slow down, like you can really, really make great progress no matter where you are. But the emotional connection to what could have been, had I have started earlier, what I've done to my body, the grief, that stuff. What's your relationship with that like now?
I mean, as you might guess, you know, I view this question through the moral frameworks, right? Like basically the premise of the question is that I'm in a low status position because of these preceding events, you know, that I didn't have parents that knew health and wellness when I was a kid. I didn't understand health and wellness myself in my 20s. I fell prey to cultural norms that said, destroy yourself, right? And so the way I'd evaluate any person answering your question is, how skilled are they in taking a low status position and converting it to high status? Like, how do you flip the question for me to find virtue in my place and attribute, you know, charity to what's preceded? Because really, it never makes sense for a person to wallow in grief. Like, yes, it makes sense to reconcile, like be honest, like we can acknowledge that may have been a mistake. You know, we can contemplate, you know, we wish it wouldn't have happened, but really, you don't want to sit in negative emotions. It's just not good for you. You don't want to beat yourself up. And so you can either take a step where you say, I'm reconciled, I'm neutral, like I'm fine with it, or you can say, I'm going to invert it. But that's what I've really learned more than anything in my life. This is what I try to train my kids is, don't be subject